I'm in the car, so you're on speaker. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. That explains it. So, anyway, and what he basically settled on was that we had done what we needed to do as far as submitting a report and the TV being set up for 12 to 10 is where we're at right now. We've been feeling that, but in custody at this point in time, just not wanting to do that. So.
Well, I guess my question for you is, I know it's not the same as a restraining order, but in a normal case, if it's violated, they go straight to jail, even if it's just for a night. So why is he unwilling to put in, do I need to be dead, or
No.
is it because he was a cop?
No. At this point in the,
It's been too long.
yeah.
See, that's bullshit.
I wish I had known about this.
That's the problem. It's bullshit because I begged the police and I called Dan Marsh the day that it happened. It's been too long, and so now the courts are going to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. That's not fair.
Well, here's where I'm going with it now. I know you want to talk to the detective about it, and she offered to come to court on the day of the TV hearing.
Yeah.
And what I told her was, I encourage you to be there. And what she said was, she asked me if I thought that I would have her speak if I wanted to. I said, I will do that just to get her on the stand to be able to probably talk a bit more from a more direct route on what exactly he did. In the event that his attorney tries to trip me up or anything like that, not the event itself. So I'm prepared. I sent an email to Gina asking to talk to her, and I don't know, she might be a little busy today. I don't know. So
I knew.
When we go in there, Crystal, I want to be prepared to be able to justify, even though the time is not by the recommendation that is going to be made, which is going to be jail. So.
Well, and that's great, but the problem I'm having is, like, had it been a restraining order, it's mandatory arrest, and that day the police used their own discretion, and they said, we won't arrest for a PD unless the probation officer okays it, and the fact that Dan Marsh didn't take action that day, it's going to be so much time has passed that they're going to pat him on the back, and they're going to say, you know what, he didn't do it again, so... You know, because I'm an honest person. I'm not going to get up there and lie and say he did it again, because he didn't. He hasn't contacted me again. But that's not justice. This is not okay.
You and I talked yesterday, and before that, when the judge told me yesterday, and he went and applied for the other.
Well, but what he told me is that it's the same sanction, but he's getting no sanction. He has yet to get any.
What I'm trying to say is that, he used that statement about the COVID thing, and at the time when that was going on, there was a lot of things that weren't being handled the same way we would do normally. I'm not using that as an excuse with things, and that's the way we would deal with it in our department also. And also, jail was not taking people under normal circumstances. So it was just the timing of it all, and I'm just going to say it wasn't the best in the world, and probably the worst for that matter.
Okay, so what about so let's say my life wasn't in danger. What about making him pay me something, a little restitution, something for my pain and suffering? I don't know. Like, nothing happened. He admitted it to you guys, and he got away with it scot-free. What about some restitution? What about a little community service?
We're not done with it yet. That's the point I'm trying to make right now. And so, I know it didn't happen as fast as you would like it to happen, as fast as it would have happened in the past. And given the circumstances that we're dealing with right now, that's where we're at. So I'm going to be going in there full bore. I don't know.
Oh, I'll be there. I will.
And
because
I can convey that message to a person.
Okay, because I don't know, unless you have children or you have a significant other that's dealt with this, I don't think you understand how traumatizing this is.
And I can say that some people who have not been through this can understand it, and there's people out there that probably have a better understanding of it, have been through it. So, so there's a part of me that agrees with that. There's a part of me that says there's more to it than just that. I've seen both sides, and I've seen people who are generally invested in the process when they're, even though they had nothing personal happen to them, and I've seen people who've had that personal kind of things happen to them or somebody in their family.
Yeah.
And they're much more in tune with what's going on.
Well, I just wish.
So all I'm trying to tell you is that I am very in tune with what's going on with you right now, which is why I don't mind calling you and talking to you and trying to at least at this point in time know that I can move forward. Not move forward from what happened, but move forward to the next step, which is the court date.
Well, after the way the judge treated me, he basically laughed at me. I'm not going to expect much, so.
The other thing I'm going to try and find out is, you said, who was the original judge on this?
It was a girl that.
Okay, well, what I'm going to be doing is requesting that through Gina, this is one thing I want to talk to her about, get to Gina to see if we can't get it in front of the Judge Menchaca, who is the DV.
Yep, he's really big on DV, yep.
Yes, and then the other piece I'm going to try and make happen, well, I can't say make it happen, but request it. In some way, shape, or form to get it on the DV docket.
Right.
So it just doesn't go on the general docket in front of a judge that may not be as in tune to those things that our DV victims go through. So that's the other piece of this puzzle that I'm trying to put together, and hopefully we'll get that.
And I appreciate you and you taking my calls, and I know that I sound upset, but like this man put me through hell. And
Crystal, I'll say it again. I don't mind taking your calls. I can totally empathize on what you were going through. And I am trying to be supportive as possible. Continue to do so going down this road.
thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate you. It's just, it was one thing.
Not because it's not happening yet, but because you haven't had from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just this TV, but the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, oh, good. I'm glad.
I'm just like, oh my God.
And he didn't get arrested. You know, he didn't even go on admin leave the whole time. The whole time. He kept working and kept beating me over and over. So, it's very important to me. And then the other thing is, again, and then I'll let you off the phone, is with probation, I was promised by Gina. She knelt down by me. She goes, Crystal, if he fucks up just one time, it's going to screw up his life. He's going to keep going back to jail. He's going to keep getting punished. So probation is a good thing. He's going to get in trouble. It's not going to be like this forever. And here we are, and he's not being held accountable once again. And I was promised that probation was different. When you're on probation, you can't fuck up. And I don't know.
And I'm not going to say that never happens, but I'm going to say that we're still going to pursue this thing as if something did happen, because it did happen.
And he admitted it.
Yes, I agree. So, please feel free to contact me. I don't want you to feel like you're in my ear. You said something earlier. I don't know exactly what it was, but it made me feel like...
I feel like a burden.
Yeah, well, don't. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'm not asking to become your best friend or anything like that, but right now it just seems like if nothing else, you have somebody to talk to that knows what you're going through, not knows what you're going through, but understands what you're going through.
Right.
And wants to be there to support you and have a full, one thing that I feel strongly about in this process is that I feel like we'll be going into court with Fridays are court days, so I know that they get really busy. Mondays, I know they do a lot of TV stuff. So I'm going to wait until Tuesday morning to reach out to her again.
This is just one of his convictions. I can't find the other paperwork for the other 3. So the menacing. But here's the probation document. He was placed on 5 years formal probation. Yeah, right there. Period of 5 years. And shall be subject to the following conditions of probation, except for when you're a police officer, or maybe when the system doesn't like the victim. So I'm going to spare you all of the requirements that he had. Where? Right here. Contact includes but is not limited to the following: communicating in any form, accessing victims' social networking sites, what do you know? Remaining in the same vicinity as the victim, such as a store, theater, sporting event, gym, church, and more. Inquiring about the victim through the victim's friends or family, following the victim, or being outside a place that the victim frequents, such as the victim's business or school. This no contact provision remains in place even if a related protective order is dismissed. Okay, let's find the sanctions for this. Okay. Oh, there's another count he got. He got assault 4. And he was ordered to pay me $10,000. Trying to find. Okay, here's where I believe it talks about the sanctions and how the defendant will be held accountable if he fails to follow his probation or the conditions of probation. Defendant shall attend, comply. Funny enough, I've been on the panel for 6 years now. Defendant shall attend a Washington County Survivors Impact panel. The defendant shall not attempt to contact or have direct or indirect contact with the victim, Crystal Rivera. And then again, it lists social networking sites, Facebook. Hello. Do not menace, intimidate, threaten, or have offensive contact. Defendant shall submit to a polygraph examination to determine if defendant is in compliance with treatment and conditions of supervision. Any refusal is a violation of supervision. Now, where this gets interesting is he took the polygraph and failed, but he didn't fail in the normal sense. After several months of adamantly explaining to his probation officer that he was not the one who reached out to me via Facebook, I guess minutes before the polygraph was going to happen, he admitted that he was the one that reached out to me. So he admitted the crime, took the polygraph, admitted it during the polygraph, but because it was a violation to contact me that way, it's technically a fail. This happened back in May. I reported it within an hour of the occurrence. I called both the detective that arrested him long ago to consult with her first on what I should do and if it met the standard of a probation violation. And then she suggested that I call dispatch or go to the nearest police department and report it. And so that's what I did. I went down to Hillsborough Police Department, where they not only treated me poorly, they got the story wrong the first time, made me look like I was crazy, had to take a second report and have a female officer come out who was well versed in the dynamics of DV. But they chose, it was up to their discretion, I found out after the fact, to make an immediate arrest on a PV, on a probation violation. I read the ORS later, much later, and I let it go because the officers at the time told me when someone is on probation, it's a little different than a restraining order in the sense that the probation officer then makes all the decisions regarding what a violation is and what a violation isn't and what the sanction should be and what it shouldn't be. And so the officers at Hillsborough Police contacted Dan Marsh, the probation officer, who decided to not take action that day, who decided to not administer a polygraph until several months after it had happened and after his client had lied to him. I am the only one in this picture who has ever told any sort of truth. And then I have to call months after the polygraph to get an update on the case just to find out that Dan Marsh, again, the probation officer, feels for Brian Waterbury because he fessed up to the crime right before the polygraph. Right before he knew he was fucked, he finally told the truth. So the minute he admitted the probation violation, he should have been cuffed and taken to jail. But he was not. He was sent home. So this all occurred in May. He came over and liked something on my Facebook. It seems very small to someone who may not have PTSD or has not experienced domestic violence. But after 2.5 years of being away, at that point, now we're almost to the 3-year mark, it was weird. I hadn't had contact with him. It was weird. So I knew it was his page because it was a fake page he had created while we were together. So what do? I go over to the page because I'm curious. I want to know, has he gone mad? Is he going to kill me? Is there any content that I should be aware of on his page? And the only thing that was open to the public was a shrine of me and him. There were pictures of me and him kissing. There were pictures of just me everywhere. Mind you, they were old pictures, but again, everything else was set to private. The only thing he had open for everyone to see were pictures of me and him. Not the kids, nothing to do with the kids, but just me. Now, if a stranger did that, it would be weird, right? I would think. If I posted pictures all over my Facebook page of one of my friends, that would be weird. But this man abused me for years. The Washington County Sheriff's Office didn't put him on admin leave until the last few months of that 2-year investigation. I got beat more because the sheriff's office wanted to believe their deputy didn't follow normal protocol with him, which is to put them on at least paid admin leave while there's an active investigation, and kept him working as a patrol deputy. So that is what happened. And while Facebook may seem juvenile and it may seem stupid to some, it is upsetting because we now are waiting on a hearing regarding the probation violation that he fessed up to, that he took a polygraph, and I don't know whether to say it's a pass or fail, but he failed it because the outcome was, in fact, that he violated his probation. And we have to go to court to figure out whether he should be sanctioned for that. What the fuck? Our system is flawed. Something is very wrong. And I know that the audio was very difficult to hear. I'm having problems uploading it. But basically, that was the probation officer's supervisor. I'll just leave it at that. I won't name him. He's been working with me since, for about a month now. Because I've been very fired up about this. Not only is there a hearing for something that's supposed to be written in stone. When you're on probation, there is no get out of jail free card. There is no pass go. You go straight to jail. When you fuck up, if there's any question about the fuck up, you get a polygraph and then you go to jail. All of these things occurred. And he's still not gone to jail. He's not been ordered community service, nor has he been issued a fine. Now, some will call me crazy and I have a conspiracy theory, whatever. Call me crazy. But he was a former deputy. His brother is a current deputy with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Do not tell me that has nothing to do with him not being held accountable once again. I may never get justice, but I will never shut up either. I will continue to seek justice. I will continue to record people and things and injustices. I will continue. This is how survivors end up dead. Oh, and here, if, there's not enough injustice, here's all the things that he got away with during our during our trial where he pled guilty to the other 4. And he got out of, the coercion, which was a felony, strangulation, which is the closest to death a survivor can be, the big stuff. Another assault for anyway. I'm going to put down the phone so I don't blind all of you. I'm trying to find the sanctions. The defendant may be considered for GPS monitoring. I can't even say the word. I'm so frustrated right now. They haven't even considered that. House arrest. I mean, for God's sakes. I'm being moved away from this city because of this. That's how much trauma this has put me through. But it's laid out pretty clearly in probation that if you violate it, there will be consequences. No trial, no hearing. But yet here we are. He gets a hearing for everything. The judge that convicted him or, signed off on everything in 2018 put a ban on him owning a firearm for the rest of his life. For his entire lifetime, which is unheard of in misdemeanor cases. After hearing my victim impact statement, she decided to mark the box that states that the defendant will never own a firearm. Usually, in misdemeanor cases, after the probation is up, so 5 years, they can then apply, to own a firearm once again, or for a concealed handgun license or whatever. Well, this is the box that she marked. The defendant's lifetime. I know this video isn't very professional, but it's what I got. Lifetime. I mean, that's pretty big for a misdemeanor. There were other options. It could have been just for the duration of his probation. But I'm sure he'll find a way to slide out of this one too. Because that's what he's good at. Just bear with me while I look through this paperwork. When he was served with a restraining order, it was advised that he not have firearms. When the deputy that served him had to answer whether he received the firearms, he answered no. He went ahead and went with Mr. Waterbury's word. Way to keep me safe. Thanks. I appreciate it. All of you who know Brian know how much he loves his guns. So, again, the court took his word. In 2018, did he surrender firearms to law enforcement? Nope. Did a third party take possession of his firearms? Nope. Oh, he said He owns no firearms. That must be true. That must be true. Right? Here's the 2 felonies: tampering with a witness and coercion that he got out of. Maybe I shouldn't have agreed to a plea bargain. He just keeps getting away with more and more. The day he knew he was fucked. The only regret he has is that he brought shame on the Washington County Sheriff's Office. And he resigned because he knew he was fucked. Anyway, I think y'all get the point. This was probably the most boring video. Can't hear the audio very well. But my point is, it's pretty cut and dry when there's probation versus the initial, like, trying to convict somebody or trial pending. So, like, that's over with. And once they're on probation, it's in place for that purpose, so that you don't have to go to more hearings, so that you don't have to wait for a trial. He automatically is supposed to be held accountable. That is not happening, at least not in the state of Oregon, at least not in my case. Law enforcement doesn't like me. I don't particularly like them. Systems haven't been good to me. I don't like systems. I have PTSD. It's a wonder why. Brian's just living his life. I guarantee if I showed up at his home right now, though, I would go to jail. And I guarantee he'd be able to get some sort of order against me. And I guarantee I would be sanctioned right away had I broke any rule, any violation in such an order. I have many more recordings that I'm going to figure out a way to upload more clearly. Because basically what this man told me today was, we're going to wait. So the boss went to his boss at the probation, Washington County probation. And his boss basically said, at this point, it's been such a long time, we're not going to make an arrest. We're going to wait and let a judge decide in December. Now, the reason why I'm so frustrated is because, first of all, probation doesn't require you to go before a judge to be sanctioned. Second of all, it's been so long from May till now because of law enforcement's mistakes, because of probation's mistakes, not because of me. Also, his first hearing date was scheduled for August. Got pushed out till like October. October came around. Sorry, I'm stuttering now because I'm so pissed off. And now it's pushed to December. And I can only imagine that it'll get pushed out further because it's so low on the totem pole of things for them to do. It's like my life doesn't matter at all. When I upload the other audio, which I hope is much clearer, of me speaking to this man, you will see past conversations I had with him about this. you will see a pattern where when I let him know, he asked me directly, are you recording me? And I said, I absolutely am. Where he said, I'm going to hang up the phone now. And then he went and looked into the case, and he went and looked into what I reported, and he called me back and apologized that same day, within an hour. And he seemed okay with me recording at that point. He tried to tell me that it was illegal, but in Oregon, over the phone, it's a one-party state. So let's be clear. In person, I do record people in person without their knowledge. I'll gladly take the fall for that. But I've learned that's a way of survival for me. That's a way of proving my credibility, because clearly nobody believes me. However, over the phone, Oregon being a one-party state means that only one person has to know that there's a recording going on. So I don't have to ask him for permission, nor does he have to ask me for permission. I don't have to state that I'm recording the conversation, nor does he. It is what it is. So motherfuckers, if you're talking to me, watch out.